grab your two blankets. We're going to start out in a supported child's pose today. So knees will go on either side of the blankets, and both blankets. You can even get a third one if you want. And then you'll just recline all the way on top of the blanket pile. You can tuck your hands underneath it and place your cheek to one side or the other. And then you're welcome to let your eyes be opened or closed, whatever feels like it will best support your nervous system right now. And when we're in a folded forward shape, the full thoracic breathing that we're always talking about in yoga classes, that happens naturally. So it's more an opportunity to just notice the movement that your torso creates when that breath automatically happens. So that in the spaces when it's not so automatic, when we're upright, we know what it is that we're looking to feel. So notice the movement around your spine as you breathe, around your ribs, your abdomen, and just let everything rest for a moment. Your jaw, your shoulders, your lower back. Our class today, most of my classes always, it's not necessarily a place where we go to improve skills, improve what shapes we can do. But my classes are so much more about observing your own inner landscape and what it is that you feel within each shape. What little extra additions you can add to your movements. Things that help you just slow down and notice the way you even move, or the way you even hold a shape. Turn your cheek to the other side. Give your neck a little more space. Just continue to breathe, perhaps slowing down your exhale a little bit more. Take 2 more full breaths here. Complete inhale and just a really slow exhale. And then as you're ready, you make your way up into tabletop position and get rid of your blanket pile. Tabletop position, spread the fingers really wide. And just explore how you can create pressure in different parts of your hands so that it's not always dumping into the wrists, and you can just spread things out a little bit more evenly. Get the support out. And then inhale, move into cow pose, letting your abdomen lower down, heart draw forward. And then just notice what happens if you cinch in the waist a little bit. So your core muscles drawing in towards the belly button, or the spine rather. And then just breathe here, even with a little bit of active support from your core. Does it feel better today to look forward and let your chin reach forward, or create a little space in the back of the neck? And then with the entire length of your exhale, slowly round your back the opposite way into cat pose. Maybe your body's asking you to move and wiggle around in these shapes and work some kinks out of your spine. Or maybe it's more about just holding the stillness and feeling the movement just from your breathing. And then bring your spine more to neutral or flat back. Extend your right leg back behind you. And then cross your right leg over to the left side. Squeeze the right butt a little bit and then reach your right hand forward and look all the way over toward your foot, over the left shoulder. Squeeze your core. Bring your right hand back underneath you, but keep looking over the left shoulder. Cinch in the waist, but really breathe into the right rib cage, the right side of the rib cage. And then squeeze your core and squeeze the right hip so much that you slowly start to lift your right leg up off the ground. Toes point down. And then turn your foot out to the right, squeeze your core, and without leaning to the left, bring your right foot out to the right. It'll bring it close to the ground, the foot close to the ground when you don't lean to the left. That's great. Inhale, leg reaches back. Exhale, reach it all the way out to the right. Breathe in, leg comes back. And one more time, out to the right. How much can you explore getting your glutes to support the shape? Especially as your leg reaches straight back. Lower your right knee back down. Left leg extends back behind you. Move it over to the right edge of your yoga mat. Reach the left hand forward and gaze all the way over your right shoulder towards your foot. Full breath in and full breath out. Bring your left hand back under your shoulder. Look a little further to the right and really breathe into your left side of the rib cage. And then cinch in the waist. Start to squeeze your left butt, your left outer hip so much that you lift the leg. And then bring your left leg all the way out to the left without leaning too far to the right. And then bring your leg back. And 3 more times like that, just moving with your breath, whichever way your inhale and your exhale work best for you. Notice if you've been rooting down into your wrists or if that pressure is still evenly spread out in your hands. Land your left knee back down to the ground. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And here you can just be still. You can lift and lower the heels a little bit. You can rock side to side or bend one knee to the other. And just kind of wiggle about for a moment, waking the legs, your core, your spine, everything up a little bit more. Where are you feeling tightness or tension? Can you relax your head any amount more? And just release the burden that's always sitting around the shoulders as we care for so much in our lives. Push the ground away from you. Create a little more stability through your core. Keep the hips reaching up and back. And root down through your knuckles. Notice each toe resting on the ground. And as you breathe in, all the different sounds around you. What do you hear? And then keeping your core drawn in tightly, lift your right leg straight up. Push out through the right heel and keep your hips square. And steady, steady breath. Push out through both heels. Squeeze your right butt. And as you exhale, slowly bring your right foot all the way to the top of your mat. Set it down. Push weight into your right heel. Lift your hands for a moment and rotate your wrists around. Heart lifts up. Core squeezes. Keep the right knee dialed outwards. And then put your hands in fists on the ground. Squeeze your core. Lift your right foot up, hug it in close, and then slowly lower both knees down to the ground. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Fingers spread out wide again. Make your way back to down dog. Steady rhythm to your breathing. And then lift your left foot up. Squeeze your core, reach out through your left heel, push the ground away from you. And can you keep your hips a little more square and core drawing in to support your spine a little bit more. Breathe in, get everything as long as you can. And then exhale, left knee slowly comes forward. Step your foot forward. Lift your hands up off the ground, just a little ways. Heart lifts. Core squeezes to support your lower back here. Rotate the wrists. Maybe flick your fingers a few times. And then fists come down to the ground. Pick your left foot up, hug it in close. And then slowly lower both knees down to the ground. Flatten your hands back out. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And then in your own fashion, whatever way makes sense, make your way to the top of your yoga mat. All the way up to stand. Notice your feet rooting down, each and every one of your toes. What happens? You squeeze your glutes, your core, and stand a little taller. You create a little spaciousness around your shoulders and your neck. Breathe in, lift your arms all the way up. And then exhale, slowly fold forward, keeping your core active the whole way. Soft knees. And then inhale, lift up halfway, hands to your thighs. Top of your head reaches forwards as your shoulders lift away from the ground. Exhale, fold back down. Plant your hands. Step your feet back, plank pose. Your choice, knees can be up or down. But really cinch in your core. Bend your elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you as you lower down. And don't let your hips lower down before your shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift your hands. Reach up through your elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, look forward. And as you exhale, you're welcome to step or hop to the top of your mat. Breathe in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rise up, lift your arms. And as you exhale, interlace your thumbs. Step your right foot back, lower the heel down. Straighten your left leg, but keep your whole torso reaching forward. Without the core, you dump into the lower back here, so really squeeze your abdomen in tightly. Grip with the left big toe.
And reach your hands as far forward and lift them up. Steady breath. Left hip pulls back in space. Right hip draws forward, squeeze your core. Full breath in. And then exhale. Slowly lower your right knee down to the ground. And tuck the toes. And then rotate your torso to the left. Release your arms out wide. Breathe here. Squeeze the right butt for a little more support. Or you can play around with drawing your legs in towards one another. And then both hands reach forward. Interlace your thumbs, tuck your back toes under, lift up the knee. And then step all the way to the top of your mat, bringing the right knee up into your chest. Keep your eyes on the floor for stability, not only for balance, but for your nervous system. Gaze downward helps you steady and downregulate. Twist to the right. Right arm reaches back, left hand forward. And breathe. And then as you step your right foot all the way back, bring your right hand down to the ground to the inside of your left foot. Rotate your heart open to the left. Reach the left arm up. And then roll onto the pinky toe side of your right foot and step your left foot back, side plank. Lift your hips high, squeeze the side abs by really lifting the hips up and forward. And then exhale, left hand down. Option to move through a vinyasa, lowering down, baby cobra. Option to just go straight to down dog. When you get to down dog, just pause and breathe here for a moment. And create space around the shoulders, your neck. And by create space, I mean find some ease or softness instead of holding the shoulders and the neck super tight. Breathe and look forward. And as you exhale, you can step or you can hop to the top of the mat. Breathe and lift up halfway. And exhale forward, fold. Inhale, lift up, lift your arms. And exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe in, lift your arms back up. Interlace your thumbs and then step your left foot back. Settle your left heel down, straighten your right leg, cinch in the waist super tightly. Right hip pulls back or pushes back. Grip with the right big toe. Really squeeze your core to help you reach forward. Shoulders can lift up by your ears. Steady breath. Squeeze your core even more. If you need to, hands can always go down onto your thigh. If you need to wiggle around and shift out of the shape, please go off script and see what you're needing tonight. And then slowly lower your left knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Find stability through your core, your legs. Play around with what helps you not wobble here. Reach your right arm back, left arm forward. Maybe for you it's squeezing the glutes a little more. Maybe it's a little more centered around your core. Perhaps it's pushing your right heel down and pulling it back. Maybe it's just your eyes. Where are you focusing your eyes? And then both hands reach forward, interlace the thumbs, tuck your back toes under, lift up the knee. And then step your left knee all the way up into your chest. Standing on the right leg. Ease your core. Find your way of supporting today. Is that by pushing the ground away from you with your leg? Slowing your breath down. Twist to the left. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. How can you get a little taller? What do the tips of your fingers feel like? And where is the weight at in your right foot? Very slowly step your left foot back. Left hand comes down to the ground, right arm lifts up. Breathe, breathe, breathe here. And even though we're not in child's pose, can you notice the movement around your spine or create a little more movement with your inhale around your spine? Step back into side plank and stack your feet in front of the other. Have one knee bent, whatever you'd like, but lift the hips high and push them forward a little. And then exhale, right hand down. Your choice. You can do the vinyasa or you can go straight to down dog. And breathe in and breathe out when you get there. Bend both knees and slowly lower them to the ground. Walk your hands to the right, left hand reaching a little further than the right hand, and then bring your forehead down to the mat. Big side stretch down the left side of your body. I like to let my right elbow relax here. Just breathe big. Breathe all the way into the edges of your skin. Lift back up and walk your hands to the left. Right hand reaching a little further than the left. Forehead lands back down. Hips stay high. Breathe into the right side. Perhaps that's a little bit more of a physical sensation for you, or perhaps it's more of a mental visual. And make your way back to down dog as you are ready. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, step or hop. Breathe in, lift up halfway, hands to your thighs, flat back. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Breathe in, rise all the way up, lift your arms up. Exhale, both hands to your heart. Inhale, lift up your hands, intertwine your thumbs. Step your right foot back. Pyramid pose, both legs straight, squeeze the core. Reach your arms forward. You don't have to bend all the way forward so your torso is parallel. You can stay up a little higher. Just really cinch in the glutes. Breathe. And very slowly lower the right knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Twist to the left. Tuck your back toes under. Find your stability with your gaze, your legs, your core, and lift the back knee up. Really squeeze the right butt to help stretch the front of your right hip. And then sweep both arms forward. Interlace the thumbs. Bring your right knee all the way into your chest. Twist to the right. Option to play around with extending the right leg forward for a moment. And then step your right foot back. Bring the right hand down to the inside of your foot. Left arm lifts up. You can relax in this shape, or you can gather everything in like your muscles are trying to hug your bones. And then start to rotate to the right, settling both heels down to the ground into wide-legged forward fold. Crawl your hands as far forward as you can, and then let your head and your neck relax. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Left hand kind of settles down right in front of your face. Squeeze your core. Bring your right hand to your pelvis. Pull your right shoulder back a little bit more so your heart rotates open to the right, but try to keep the pelvis level. And then your choice. Right hand can stay on your pelvis, or you could lift it up to the ceiling. Breathe in. It's almost as if you want to lift the left hand up off the ground. And bring your right hand down. Crawl your hands back to the left. Rotate back onto your feet, so your feet point forward. And then side plank. Step your left foot back. Lift the left arm up. And this time you can stay here, or you can set your left foot down behind the right foot. Push both hips up towards the ceiling and find more of a back bend and wild thing, and reach the left arm up over your ear. Squeeze your buns, really squeeze your core if you do that. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Your choice, vinyasa, or stay here in down dog. Take just a couple full breaths here. And then breathe in and look forward. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Breathe in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. And then breathe in, lift all the way up. Lift your arms. And try to do this with awareness of the in-between spaces. Step your left foot back. Intertwine your thumbs. This pyramid pose, both legs straighten, but your left hip's not opening up. It's trying to point forwards. Core squeezes. Hands lift up and forward, creating a lot of length down the sides of your body. Breathe in and breathe out. And then with your exhale, slowly lower the left knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Rotate to the right, releasing your arms out wide. And then find your stability. Gather in every single muscle. Lift the back knee up. Really squeeze the core in your left foot to support spaciousness in the lower back. And then sweep your right hand forward. Interlace the thumbs. Bring your left knee all the way up into your chest. Rotate to the left. Option to extend the left leg way forward, up to you. And then slowly step back. Left hand comes down to the inside of your right foot. Right arm is welcome to lift up. And then slowly move into your side plank. Option to bring the right foot behind the left leg and flip over into wild thing. And then come back to down dog. Breathe here. Bring your right foot back to the top of the mat because I skipped one thing. And rotate back into your wide-legged forward fold. Toes can point in any direction that feels good for your knees and for your hips. Crawl your hands forward. Let your head relax down. And breathe here. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Right hand kind of goes under the face. Left hand comes to your lower back, or pelvis rather. You tend to lock your knees out like I do, soften them a little bit. Rotate your heart open to the left side. And then your choice, you can lift the left hand up or keep it down. Cinch in the core and maybe come up onto the fingertips of your right hand. And then bring your left hand back down. Rotate back to the top of the mat. And step back, down dog. Lower both your knees down to the ground. Walk your hands to the left. Right hand reaching a little further than the left. And bring your forehead down to the ground. Breathing here. Option to keep the hips up high, or option to sit them back a little bit further, more like child's pose, your choice. And then slowly come back up onto your hands. Walk them over to the right side. Shift your hips back. Let your forehead land down to the ground. And just try to find a stretch, or try to find a stretch down the left side. You can always adjust where your hips are at. Reach your hand a little further. And then come back through the middle. Bring your right knee right into the middle of your mat. And a little bit forward of the belly button. Lift your left leg up and move it over to the right edge of your mat. Slide your foot back a little bit, land the knee down. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders and lift your heart up. You can kind of sink into and wiggle into the right side here. Should feel a stretch deep in the right outer hip or right butt. If you want to be a little more active still and continue to stretch, you can reach your left arm underneath the right for a little twist. And then breathe in and open everything out to the left. Exhale, weave under. Not to go too far. Breathe in and open the arm all the way up and back. Exhale, reach. Breathe in, lift back up. Left hand comes down to the ground. Lift your left leg up. Make sure your right hand is under your right shoulder. Stack the left hip open over the right, toes pull in towards you. And let your right foot swing out a little bit for support. Squeeze your core, lift the left arm up. Ardha Chandrasana, or half moon. Supported half moon. Push out through your left heel. It's almost like you're trying to lift your right hand up off the ground. And left hand, left knee come down. Same thing, other side. Left knee comes forward to the center of your mat. Lift your right leg up and move it over to the left. Slide it back. Land your knee down. Heart lifts up. And just breathe here. Option to pause and hold the shape and rest. Option to reach your right arm out to the side. And weave it underneath the left. Inhale, reach the right arm open. Exhale, reach. Breathe in. And one more time. And breathe in. Set your right hand down. Walk your left hand forward a little bit. And then lift your right leg all the way up off the ground. Let your left foot swing out a little bit. Right arm lifts up. And it's half moon. Push out through your right heel, cinch in the waist. Reach up through your right hand just as much as you're pushing the left knuckles down into the ground. And then everything comes back down. Walk your hands forward and bring your forehead slowly all the way down to your mat. Let your shoulders lift up by your ears. It's an invitation to just let your heart relax down towards the ground. Full breath in and a full breath out. And then make your way forward onto your stomach. Bring your hands out to the sides, like off of your mat, and lift up onto your fingertips. Elbows point up towards the ceiling. And then cinch in the waist, squeeze your buns, press the tops of your feet down, lift your heart up high. Keep your core drawing in so much, it's like you're trying to lift your pelvis up off the mat. And then look to the left and start to rotate to the left, bringing your right shoulder towards the ground. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, rotate to the right side. Once more on each side, breathe in back through the middle. Exhale, rotate to the left. Breathe in back through center and rotate to the right. Move back through the middle. Bring your forearms out in front of you, like you're going to make a pillow for your head. We technically are. And then hike your left knee up by your side. And you're welcome to rest your cheek or your forehead down onto your arms. Move your arms in any other way that supports your head. And just pause and breathe here. And when we're laying on our stomachs or folded forward, the full thoracic breathing just happens naturally. So just let your body breathe. And then go ahead and switch your legs. Left leg reaches back, right leg hikes up to the side. And then rest your head in any way that makes sense for your shoulders and your neck. And then slowly make your way up to seated and grab your 2 blankets. You may need to adjust them or refold them to make this the most comfortable. But one blanket can go underneath your upper back, and the other one can go under your head for a little pillow. Oops, excuse me. Upper back, just below the armpits, reclines onto the blankets, and your arms reach out to the side, just barely above the blankets. So your arms are on them. And then use the other blanket, fold it up so that it supports your neck more than it supports your head. And then for your lower back to be a little bit more spacious, you can have your knees bent. You don't mind the slightly deeper back bend and it feels good to you. You can straighten your legs. I personally find it easier to just rest when my knees are bent. A little gentler on the spine. Again, it's up to you. Perhaps you even want to crisscross applesauce the legs here and get more of a hip stretch. Your choice. But whatever you choose, make sure it's just easy for you to breathe. Easy for you to just gently witness whatever it is that you're feeling. And soften your jaw, that little space right between your eyebrows. We tend to get a crease. Just be. And then breathe in a full breath of air, as much air as you can fit. At the top, hold your breath for a moment. Sip in a little bit more air. And then just open mouth, exhale, let the air go out. And start to find any movements that help you make your way to a full body stretch. Toes to fingertips. And then roll off to one side as you're ready. And make your way back up to seated. Thank you, everyone.